hello, lovely people. How are you today? It's Friday, yay. It's a whopping 95 degrees so far. I thought it was 95 degrees this morning already, but not to worry. I am surviving. My name's Sonia Javette. I'll be your hostess today here on SBP Live Entertainment. Check it out. Oh, forgot my audience members. Wait, clapping for the audience. And the audience goes. That's my favorite part. Not completely my favorite. All right, I'm going to do a song for you, and then I'm going to bring on my guest. Her name is Miss Jenice Williams. Jenice Johnson Williams. I've known her since she was a Johnson. So I'm going to play my song, and then I'll bring her on too. Stick around. Turn up the baby. This is one of my songs from the pandemic. It's called Old Man. Chevy pickup had American pride on his truck, 4 flags in the back and 2 on the side and 1 on the hood. That alright? Uncomfortable conversations of, am I worthy of love? The devil's in the details. I'm authentically forever myself. My dreams keep telling me someday people will judge me by my character, not by the color of my skin. Not by the color of my skin. Here in America, got our own saying. Divided we fall, united we stand. September 11th, 2001. See the pride, American pride, on the face of everyone. Now it's June 2022. If I see that same old ride, I'd have to take a double take to make sure it's not a mob of proud boys driving by to take a shot at me. Uncomfortable conversations of, am I worthy of love? The devil's in the details. I'm authentically forever myself. My dreams keep telling me that someday people will judge me by my character, not by the color of my skin, not by the color of my skin. I saw an old man with a Chevy pickup, had American pride on his truck, 4 flags in the back, and 2 on the side, and One on the hood, that don't ride. Ride, 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 ride. Well, and the crowd goes, fun. Okay, let me do her bio real quick. And my friend Jenice, she's a mom, she's a wife, she's a writer who has done card and non-card reading and writing interpretations for over a decade, but kind of went underground until now. The state of the world is igniting many of us to just be more open to and with our gifts and shared experiences. Here is the lovely Miss Jenice. Bring her in, y'all. Yeah. How's that? How am I doing?
Awesome. I love to listen to you sing. So I was back here, just you didn't see me, but I was jamming out.
Head bopping, head bopping.
Yes, I was.
Right on, right on. Jenice and I go way back, all the way back to when I had only 300 people on my social media. And I giggled and went, okay, I need help. Because what were you doing at that? You were doing PR for me at that time.
Yeah, I think I was working for the Dallas Morning News at that time.
Truth. I still have 3x5s, 4x5s, business cards still with your name on the back, and that people ask me, "Is that you?" And I'm like, "No."
I'm
Yeah.
always here if you need ever in a pinch.
Oh yes. Okay.
You don't
we
need me, girl. That was a
kidding.
joke.
No, we do. Oh yes, I do need you, sister. I do. How you been, boo? How you doing? How you been?
I'm doing okay. The whole you introduced me. I'm a mom. I'm a mom of 2 kids under 5. So at any point in time, I might have to run out of here and put out a fire of some sort.
Because you had good practice at it. Because it ain't easy.
No.
Because my daughter's full grown now.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
People go, "You have a child?" I'm like, "I had a child. She's a grown woman now."
No, yeah.
And tells me very much so she's a grown woman. It's like, oh, okay.
They let you know because I got 2 older ones.
For real.
This mom of 2 older kids too. Yeah.
Teenagers. Oh my lord.
No, Alyssa's about to turn 21.
What?
Yeah,
That's a
David Ray just turned 18.
grown people. Get out. Get a job.
Luckily, they have those, but yes.
Nice. So it looks like we're working on the other. Cool. Let's do some questions, shall we? Let's dive right in.
I'm so nervous. I'm gonna admit I'm nervous, and I'm not
It's
the type to be nervous, but I
it's
am.
fun stuff. This girl, you got so I call her Obi-Wan because she's my Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan, you got this. You got this. Here we go. What are you reading today?
So I've been reading The Gap and the Gain. This was a highly recommended book. I do audiobook because I'm all over the place. I can listen to it when I'm driving, when I'm trying to tune out screaming. It really talks about how, don't ask me the authors right offhand. I just totally forgot their names, but it's a really interesting book that shows you where kind of how our mindset works. So we live a lot of times in the place of the gap. As opposed to really like celebrating our small wins. So you have a small win, but you don't regard that as a win because it's not the big goal that you had set. So you kind of see it as failure because you're not there yet. But this is
Obi-Wan.
all about finding the joy and the appreciation of your process and celebrating those little steps you're getting to that big goal, and how a lot of people with perfectionism or high expectations of themselves, if they're not there yet, how they can kind of
I need this book because
so far. And I can tell when I haven't listened to it in a couple of days because I can tell. I'll just say that.
I need this book. I
Not,
my
just
brain went, yep, you don't do any of that.
And then like
Starting
this morning, the leaves of grass. Sometimes when I feel like I want some inspiration or like some quote or like Walt Whitman for some reason, I don't know why. I just kind of keep it. It's like on my kitchen counter right now.
on the back burner. Favorite podcast?
Oh, well, you have one, right?
We consider this to be a podcast, but it's not a
So
podcast, but
this
it's
is
kind of
I'm
a podcast.
introduced to this. This is about to be my favorite one, but I guess podcast. Ooh, I don't know if I was listening to a lot of Trent Shelton for a little while. Brene Brown for a little while. I don't know if I have quite a favorite yet.
Fair enough.
Not a favorite. I don't know if I'm a podcasty person.
I'm learning to be one, but I haven't dived into it because I can take all the audio that I've done for these past 60 whatever 8 shows, and they could be a podcast that I could put on my Spotify
Yes,
page. And I went,
your
huh,
Spotify.
that's more work.
It's more work. And the thing is, you can kind of just do these. People do it all the time. Just
Pop
no
up and
fancy equipment. Just put on
oh
whatever
yeah,
that is. Applause or what is it? I forget the name of it.
Facebook and Twitter both now have where you can have when Clubhouse was like popping. Do you know what Clubhouse is?
Yeah.
So when Clubhouse was popping, everybody was like, "Gimme! I want to learn. I want to do it." So now Twitter has that function, and so does Facebook in your groups. If you have a group, you can do it in your Facebook group. And I was like, "Well, that's good." I'm not sure how to take that yet because I use all of my social media for my music, so I wasn't sure how to use that other than having private or group conversations with fans at one time. I don't know, something like that.
I haven't even played with a girl. I'm starting to get it's too much. There's too many things.
There's a lot, and you got children, so there's a lot. There's a lot.
And they are too quiet right now. I'm gonna just roll with it.
If you need to roll out, you let me know, and I will. Okay. What age do you wish you could permanently be?
You know, some people are gonna say they're younger ages. No, I think that if I stayed 40, I'm 44 right now. If I stayed 45 or even I haven't gotten to 50, but maybe 50, because I know all the stuff that I needed to know right now that would have helped me back then. So I don't need that time of my 20s back or even my 30s. I had my first baby at 39. So, and then Charlie, the surprise from Florida. By the way, pre-pandemic, y'all. Charlie is a Valentine's Day baby, and we were off in Florida, and then bam, pandemic. So everybody thinks my baby was the result of a pandemic, but no, she was a result of a Valentine's Day weekend.
A good good week, good celebration of love.
But to me, it's just like, and I'm still learning. So if I'm at the point that I am now and still learning, there is no way that I want to be 20 something, not knowing what I know now.
So this is the age.
I'd say so. Good. I guess 44. I'm
44 works. 44 works.
44. My life path number is 8. So that works.
8 is good. What are you interested in that most people haven't heard of? Ooh, that leads us into your product.
Oh, that they haven't heard of, or just isn't very talked about?
Whichever you would like.
Oh man, that's a lot of. Oh, you got me.
Narrow it down. And if not,
I would say that it definitely does. I think it probably does go into some of my products. Is that people don't realize when they write. So, say for example, yes, of course, journal writing. Of course, there's going to be a lot of your subconscious in your journal writing. But if you are given a prompt to write from, there's a lot of subconscious that comes in when you write from the prompt. And that's sort of what that's what I do with my writing interpretation after a reading, because a few things happen. The person feels like they got to put on a show or a certain reality for me to read, and don't realize I can read between the lines of that, because our subconscious is always going to pour into the page, whether we realize it or not. So I encourage a lot of times when people can't meditate, hello, I'm having such a hard time with meditation with children running around. So I set my timer for 10 minutes and I do what I call unconscious writing or subconscious writing, where I just let my pen go. I don't think, I just dump onto a page, and then, and give myself the 10 minutes. And I'm always shocked. I don't read it until I'm done. I think that that's a tool that a lot of us could use to kind of tap into stuff. That
I don't know. What is it called? Do you have a name for it?
Well, so I call it unconscious writing, but a lot of times that's been associated to automated writing, and I'm not talking about automated writing. Automated writing is when, like, you literally you tap into an energy where your pen just goes and you're not in control. That's automated writing. And it's not so much that as so much as it's like a brain dump that you kind of control, in that you are writing it, you know you're writing it, but you're not thinking.
Yeah.
You're just like, this is what I'm saying. And it can be really non sequitur too, because like you might be talking about what you did that day, and then it goes into maybe a dream you had, or maybe a vision you're having, because you tap into something when you make your brain stop and do that.
I didn't remember what it was called, because I remember doing something similar to that in high school. We had to write around or from the center of the page and out, and just write what was randomly running around in our brain. So something similar to that. It's take you out of your box.
Right. And it's better to do handwritten. It doesn't work. It does not work the same if you're typing it.
Correct. I agree with that, because it's not tactile. No, is that the right word? I don't know what the word is. Where you got to touch it and feel it to make it work.
I hear my notifications from Facebook. I'm sorry. I'm going to turn that. I'm going to get out of there. I didn't realize it was still open. Sorry about that. Okay.
Next question. What could you give a 40-minute presentation on with absolutely no preparation?
40.
I know you got something.
I would. It would probably be very controversial.
Oh.
But it would definitely be the absolute reality of motherhood, and talking about what not to feel ashamed about and feel guilt about in your reality, that's not in the cute little squares of Instagram where we've got the perfectly filtered picture of our children in the nice outfits. And I've definitely done my share of pictures like that, where I'm showing my children running around the sprinklers, but I've also shown the tantrum face. I think it's, as mothers, we have to have this, like, oh, I love that I had my babies and I love my babies. And it's like, if you talk about anything other than that, it's like, and this whole gentle parenting thing too, which I'm not 100% on board with. I mostly am, but along with that, there comes a lot of mom shaming if you're not just loving every minute and keep them little, hashtag, And I'm telling you, people would pay good money for this speech just so they could either A, relate, emphatically relate, and come and shake my hand, or two, to drag me to no end for their own content. There's no middle ground.
Let me, I'm going to share your video, the one with the baby dancing with you. Spring up the babies. Little owl. She's so cute. Oh my God.
Yeah, Cherie.
Okay, here we go. You want to give the info about what you're doing in this video?
Yes. Do I start now?
Sure.
Okay, so I am a fitness coach. I'm not a trainer. I'm a fitness coach, and I started in 2019. And I did this because I needed accountability for myself, but also if I was accountable to other people who needed that leadership, I knew that I would stick to it. And so I was kind of on the tail end of postpartum hell. I needed a change. I had gained a ton of weight. I was in a very stagnant state and I needed to shake free. And so in 2019, I started coaching and I had to be proof of the product. So there'd be a lot of video of me working out, and often with Maya in tow, because I would work out at all hours, because she was so active and still is. And sometimes it would be midnight. She'd wake up, y'all. She would wake up. I'm working out at midnight, and then she'd join me. I think this might be one of those late night workouts in the beginning of this video.
All right, here is Miss Jenice, and Little Owl is what I call her. Full blown screen, and we go like this. Push the button. Yes. So,
I told you I cry when I see it. Ugh.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The wings in the background. Did you make those or had them made for
So
your room?
and oh man, if I knew you were going to ask me about this, I would have shown you its original look. Originally, they were inside. They were on top of a box spring that lit up.
I remember that.
Yeah. Okay. So those wings really represent a complete evolution from start to finish. I did not commission those. I happened upon them and said I had to have these for my studio. I had a studio. It's a whole other story, whole other life. I had an art space for about 3 years, and it was the signature. And mommyhood, moves and everything, closing the studio, didn't know what to do with them. Almost threw them out because it was painful, because they were so signature and they were so loved, and the mattress spring was just not anything to put up in a house anymore, especially with little babies. What am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with these? And it just occurred to me, you know what? My husband and I've known each other since we were in high school, and we have been fighting since we were in high school. This is how we are. It's just us. And he said, this really needs to be your gym, this extra space upstairs. And I was like, that's where they need to go, because I was always working out in the bedroom with no real space. You can do what I do with little space, but it was getting a little ridiculous, especially if the kids do it with me. And so what was formerly going to be the man cave turned into the gym. His choice, not me. I didn't. Just want to make that clear. If any men watching, how dare she? I did not take away his man cave. This was all his idea. And
my daddy says, happy wife, happy life.
Right. The wings just fit. I'm still trying to harness the energy of like innovate, constant evolution. The wings are huge. They're a little worse for wear in spots. They've been through a lot too. They've been through so many moves. They've been packed away. They've been taken out. They've been celebrated. They've collected dust. It's like
they're part of your trademark. They're part of your inspiration for inspiring others in this art life that you have created while being a mother. So I like it. Kudos. Wait. Tell her, y'all. Tell her. That's right. That's right. My favorite question asked, if you had a superpower, what would it be?
There might have been a time that I wanted to read minds, but I feel like I kind of already sort of do that. And also would never want that, especially when I already kind of in my own way. So I would say fly, because then I wouldn't have to worry about airfare and I could go anywhere I wanted.
You could put the little owls on the back and let's go, and the little bear, and let's go down the road. That would be amazing.
I
I
know
like
it's
it.
so generic, but it's just like
Yeah,
flying. Why wouldn't I?
it's not generic.
Or speed of lightning. Like if I could clean the house in 5 seconds, bam, I'd probably take it over flying.
All right. Let's see. Next question. Next question. Me. What is the most relaxing place you've ever been? See, I have like two, y'all. I have like 100 questions that
You
I
do. It don't matter.
random.
You them. What have
I
you
just
read it for?
randomly ask the questions because you get to know people by getting in by giving them questions, and I like to ask questions that are unusual because that really gives you insight to who I'm having a conversation with.
Well, I mean, I have a new appreciation for the ocean. I didn't think that I was a beachy girl.
Mm.
But I have found after my husband took me to Florida and we got Charlie, that was a real peaceful place. But really, if I can be left alone and lay on the ground and face the sun, I don't care where I am as long as I'm being left alone and no bugs are actually biting me. They can crawl me if they want, as long as they don't get in my dreads, because that becomes a problem. But just sitting still and taking in nature is a big one for me. Like I love the redwoods in California, and I love sand in my toes, and I love feeling the sun on my face, even though I'm not really a sun person. I love the moon. But I it's just there's a peacefulness to connecting with nature. And I mean past like talking about, oh, I love nature. No, I mean not caring that your fingernails get dirty because you literally dig your fingers into the ground to ground yourself and put your toes in the dirt. Can't do it in Texas dirt, but um, good luck. But yeah, it has to do with nature. It has to be with connecting, uninterrupted connection. And the only interruption that should even come close to anything is like animals, like birds, hearing those. Oh, I just like thinking about it. I did that this morning, but then the sprinklers came on.
Rude.
So I was like, damn it. Just, I was laying on my stomach, just kind of, yeah, at the sunrise. And then the sprinklers turned on. Such a
ooh, what is one of your favorite smells?
ooh, woodsy smells. I
Sounds
love
like you need to be outside a lot more, my
I do.
friend.
Well, I spend a lot of time outside. I do, especially now with moving to a house. I'm outside a lot. I know we're gonna talk about my products a little later, but I do have a spray, and like the smell of my spray is like my
Let's
favorite.
talk about it. Let's go and do it. Shall I
Um,
share the video after you have this conversation, or you want to talk
yes,
about
I
this?
don't have the spray in that video, but it
Okay.
is like if you move to the website, it's on there. I love a good like resin smell, like frankincense. I love the resin of it because I take it. I use this will work for the video, but I use pestle mortar and work it down into a powder. I love how frankincense smells. I do love patchouli. Hello, I do. I know I got the dreadlocks. I'm talking about patchouli and my
Oh,
chakra
okay. I was
necklace.
like, what? But you,
Patchouli.
yeah.
I
Okay.
do. And if cedar. Oh, I love when you smell like when cedar's burning for smudging. But every last one of them is a woodsy smell. So
Nice.
yeah.
We have a whole town called Cedar Park here in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all cedar. All right, let me bring this video
My friend just
up.
moved there. I just realized that.
Bing, bada bing. Oh, share. There we go. Good job. Push the button. Make it pretty. You're so pretty, my friend. You're my friend. Let's talk about your video.
So before you play it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be a video covering, I'm a mom, busy. threw it together, and it is vertical. I'm working on it, Sonia. I'm going to work with that horizontal. You have to tell me where to look, because like when you do a horizontal, you're like look like you're looking crooked. I gotta learn anyway. This video is going to kind of talk about the whole idea of Art is Life, which is the name of my company is Art is Life Cafe. The name of my studio is Art is Life Studio. So this is kind of like a different version of that. So I kind of talk about that, and I talk about my process, what I do with my hands when I make candles, and even when I ship my candles, what I do, and everything that I do that it has to do with intention.
And I know you're listening to something. So, what are you listening to when you're creating?
How'd you know I was listening to something, girl?
Because you have to be. There's no way. Yeah, go.
So there is I did not make this list myself, but it's perfection. It's called Witchy Vibes. I don't self-identify as a witch, by the way, but I love me some witches, and some people have called me that. But the playlist is called Witchy Vibes. Let me get to it. It is by somebody named Dastardly DeBee. I don't it looks like this.
Nice.
Okay. It has
Okay.
Florence in the Machine. It has like lots of people that I'd never heard of. I got introduced to an artist named Ivor, who is this amazing artist and versatile. I mean, y'all, she sings in like I think Gaelic.
That's
Anyway,
trippy language right there.
Agnes Obel. I mean, Fleetwood Mac. It's just got a beautiful. It's perfect for when I create.
All right.
Yep.
Here we go. Here's Miss Jenice Johnson. Let me make this bigger. We're going to drop off. Poof. And play.
I am a mom. I am a
Hold on. Let me back it up. Start from the beginning. Go.
hello. My name is Jenice. I am a mom. I am a wife. I am someone who makes things with her hands, and I also do a lot of things related to wellness. What I'm going to share with you right now, though, is what I do with my candle making business. I have I guess you could call it a metaphysical business where I do readings and I also make candles and concoctions to help people along the way. I always am fully transparent. I am not a perfect being, obviously. I have my own flaws, but I have helped people for a very long time. And after COVID, I kind of took that to another level. We spent a lot of time at home, obviously, all of our time at home, and I honed in on some things that I had been working on and kind of turn it into a business. So I'm going to share with you that aspect of my life. Artist Life Cafe is the second inception of how I reach out to the community. I started with a company called Artist Life Studio. It is such a long story that we don't have time for right now, but the short of it is it was a place where people could feel very welcome in all of their broken pieces and all of the pieces that fit together and all of the pieces that they were still finding, focused around art, photography, writing, being who we are in a place where you feel safe. Super fast forward, after having children, I opened Art is Life Cafe. Currently, it's only online. I do readings in person, but mostly I do readings online with people. I do Zoom, I do recorded readings, I have a Patreon, that sort of thing. This whole idea of art is life is the idea of everything that we do is art. All of the messy pieces, all of the hard pieces, everything that we do that beautifully works together. The first sip of coffee, working out, which you'll see more about that with me, and just everything that we do. It is an art. It is art. And so that was a big motto for me, going through a lot of tough stuff. And I continue to go through my own stuff, as we all do. Artist Life is tattooed on my body forever. Yep. We are fallible beings, but we are beautiful beings. And everything that we create is art. And everything that we sit in, our hard times and our hard parts of ourselves, is art.
My candles are all about helping you through those hard pieces. They're there for your meditation, they're there for your prayer, they're for intention. I create everything by hand. Most of the things that I use are from my garden or sourced by trusted resources, and everything that I make is fully from my heart.
Pestle and mortar has got to be my favorite part. It starts like this.
Getting there.
Turns into this. Oh, look, it's a heart. Pretty cool.
I'm so entranced by color, especially these. And I love using pestle and mortar to move things together and bring out the essence of what I'm using. Everything I do is about intention, so I set the place around me with that in mind. I light a candle, I put out crystals that are important to me or help bring out the intention I'm working with. I'm also working within my home. So smudging is always crucial in between everything that I do because I've got people throughout the house and their energies are in the home as well. This is Kuz Night, and I smudge my crystals. Oh, and then, of course, you've got those baby breaks. Charlie loves when I make candles. And then there's the setting process. So like I said before, I smudge everything. I use herbs from my home. I also use some sweetgrass. I make sure that I smudge all the things before I do any shipping. I even smudge the boxes out. I anoint the candles. I pray over them. I use that word a lot, intentions for whatever the candle is for. This one is called Reflect and Release. And I do a prayer. I create the space for the person that I'm sending it to. It's always a personalized experience. That's a selenite stone. And I even smudge the lids so you are assured that everything is cleansed.
So, excellent, excellent, well done. My question is, do people know what smudging is?
I knew,
Because I know what it is.
I knew I should have said, yeah, I was thinking that when I mentioned smudging.
It's important. If you don't know what smudging is, it's real important for your self-healing, I think, because I use it a lot. Go ahead.
And I'm going to give you a couple of ways to smudge. So smudging is basically all the things that's in the earth that you have has some sort of a property. So with smudging, a lot of times you want to use things like rosemary. Some people use sage. Sage is becoming so cultivated now that I've kind of shied away and I'm looking to maybe grow my own. But sage is the most popular, the white sage, cedar, lavender, sweetgrass. There's just so many herbs that you use. And what you're doing is you're clearing. It's not just negative. They were like, get all the bad energy out. It is that, but it's also a clearing because the air can get really stagnant, especially if you never open your windows. Especially if you're in your house like all week. Like think about COVID time. How many people that did not smudge stayed in their house, never opened their windows? That energy, it's stagnant. So think about stagnant water. It doesn't move. It like sits there and it collects just yucky. And it's not a good thing. And stagnant waters don't bode well for movement. So it's not just clearing negative energies when you burn these herbs and like fan them across all your rooms. It's also about clearing space for the good things to come in. So a lot of times after you use some of these herbs, you want to do things like lavender or sweetgrass at the end, or open all your windows when you're doing it, of course, and maybe your door if you're able. and welcome in fresh energy to replace that which you removed. If you are weird about smoke, you can do this in a pot of water. I did that this morning. There was some definite energy here that I was like, it needs to vacate. So I made a big pot of water, and it's kind of like a big gumbo. Like, what do you have in your garden? Do you have basil? Great. Do you have, it can start smelling like salad dressing. Who cares? You got lemons, you got oranges, you got cinnamon sticks, you got rosemary. And yes, it should all be fresh stuff. I highly recommend fresh, or if you've gotten it from, I'm not trying to do a plug, but like Mountain Herbs, if like trusted sources that is not heavily cultivated, throw it in a pot, fresher the better, and let it simmer. So then you can have the smell come through the home and kind of just cleanse your home without the smoke. But it's imperative that everyone does some kind of clearing in their home, even if it's just opening your windows, because you can't live in that same air and energy.
Stagnant, stank air, stagnant. Stagnant, stank air. I live in an apartment from the 80s, and if I don't do my peppermint oil or my rosemary smell or my sage at least once a week, it smells like old apartment. Like, what is that smell?
Yeah.
It's the
use a diffuser. I forgot completely to mention diffusers are great. Like a good, solid, trusted organic oil to diffuse. Yes.
I'll have to get a diffuser. I don't have one of those. I do have one of those sea salt candle, or not candle, but
lamp.
Yeah, I have it's really pretty, but it's supposed to help do something wonderful. And the reason why I have Jenice on here is because she's one of those people in my life that has always been there since, I don't know, what are we, 15, 20 years friendship?
A long time.
A long, long time. Since she was out in the woods with the Indians. That's how long. No, before that.
Native Americans.
My apologies. Native Americans.
Uh-oh.
Native Americans.
Continue that thought. I'm hearing a mommy.
Okay.
Just one second.
No worries. So I brought her on because she has been pivotal in my life when I needed questions answered about the part of the music industry that I had no idea about, because she was already in it from her writing standpoint. So that's why I brought Jenice on, so that we could talk and talk about her new businesses and how she is being successful now. So while she goes and checks on the little owls, the little ones, I'll play another song. I'll play another one of their songs that I know how to play. Let's see. Wait a minute. I see her. She's back. She's back.
For how long? But yes, I'm here.
Are they all alive?
Yeah. I was going, Mommy, because Charlie is very active. She climbed things, and she was climbing chair again and pulling things down.
She's a super smart child.
Which one?
Both of your children are very, very intelligent. Okay, psych. I was gonna play a song. Now I'm not. So here's your question. No, here's your question. Then I'll play a song. Okay. What 3 words best describe you? Oh.
And you cannot describe it without saying contrary.
All right.
Definitely that. Contrary. Unapologetic.
Yes.
There's so many. Vocal probably would be the other.
I like those 3. Those are good. Those are good. That definitively, I can say words that definitively describes you. So that's good. What always puts you? No. What are your 3 best apps on your phone?
Ooh, I want to know what that other question was.
What always puts you in a good mood?
Oh.
Yeah.
I like the app question, though.
Okay.
Which one you want?
What are the 3 best apps on your phone?
best as in like what I love.
What that?
Spotify for sure. I gotta have Spotify, but I'm gonna put Audible in the same so that I can give you 2 more.
Okay.
That's
You get
fair.
3.
I get 3. So I am gonna cheat a little bit because I got a lot. I have way too many apps. So my other app would I hate that one of them is Instagram, but I definitely am on Instagram more than I am on any other socials. And I'd say the other one on my phone because the other ones are on my TV. Ooh, I'd say the other one would probably be. I'm just gonna sound basic. It's gonna be Amazon, but I do, I do want to give a shout out to the Plantain app because I put a lot of wildflower seeds out like a year over a year ago, and they're popping up all the time in random places instead of like choking out the whole yard. It's just these random places. I wanted to choke out the yard.
That was clever.
That was just a postpartum crazy idea, but it didn't totally work. But all these surprise flowers would come up, wildflowers would come up. So I have the Plantain app to identify some of the ones that were coming up. And that's a pretty fun app.
That's cool. I like that. Because I walk when I'm walking Lucy, I'm like, what flower is that? It looks like a weed, but it's not a weed. It's really pretty. What is that? That would be a good app for me to have. I like
But
it.
also Google. I will say, if you don't do that app, Google. Google Images. You can do the same thing with Google Images, and sometimes it'll bring stuff up the Plantain app won't. There's also a rock identifier app.
What? A rock?
Crystals, and I want to make sure that they're real.
Oh, okay. That makes more
I
sense.
want to have a catalog of those particular. I'm trying to pull it up somewhere. Those particular crystals. If it like keeps a catalog for you, like you save them into your app. Oh, I got to read down. I haven't done my rock app in a while, but it's like a rock identifier app. It's like some really generic name. But Plantain is plant and then in one word.
The content that you put inside your candles, you
Mm-hmm.
you are hand picking them, or you're going to some store and cultivating them, or
So it's a combination. So in the video, if you see me hand sprinkle, it's blessed thistle. So I use blessed thistle in a lot of things as protection. I want to eventually grow my own thistle of a thistle family. And not buy it, but I do buy that. There's a few things that I buy that I don't grow. White willow bark, blessed thistle, and frankincense resin. Those are like my basis. Like those have to be in the house until I can figure out how to make those things myself. But pretty much all the other stuff, like the florals, I might use flowers that I've put in my altar room. A lot of times what I do is I have my ancestor altars where I have flowers and vases. And so instead of throwing those flowers out, it's a place where I've prayed. I take those and I use the petals and parts of the flower in my candles as well. So everything is used again. And then so rosemary and lavender, a lot of the leaf really of lavender. What else do I have? Like mint, lemon balm. I use all those things from my garden. So it's a mix. And I use essential oils.
so all natural things in this wonderful candle.
Yes.
Love it.
I'm still working on trying to figure out coloring, like a straight up coloring process without using dye. What you'll see moving forward, I may not have as highly pigmented stuff because I may want to use less dye or no dye at all. So I'm still kind of working with that or just a natural dye of some sort. I just what's the point of all this natural if I'm throwing in?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
This woman, she's amazing. This woman named Abby. I do want to plug somebody. This woman named Abby Rose. It's bellamambo.com. Now, she is a hereditary witch. She identifies as. I know that she has mentioned that as well, that I go through all this process and she has amazing garlic. This woman is herbology queen. Like, this woman knows everything about everything that has to grow in the ground. And I noticed that she had mentioned, I was thinking the same daggum thing. That's when I know, because I'm like, this woman is, I highly respect her. She was mentioning it as well. And I think she's starting to like not use synthetic dye. So I think a lot of practitioners are kind of like, if I'm going through all this work, why am I throwing in this synthetic dye?
True. When you could just be mixing in some fruit, make colors.
And I have experimented, like some of the newer candles, I've started to just let it not be as highly pigmented and just
Throw
use,
in some cranberries. No.
girl. I mean, I was thinking about using beets. I want to kind of, because I have
Oh, right. That would totally turn it red.
percolator.
Yeah.
You remember that song? It's time for a percolator. It's time for a percolator.
I had a beet. That sounds terrible. Anyway, moving along.
But I use a percolator for melting wax. So I boil some of these herbs with
You
it.
don't have to make more content video because I don't know what that is that you're talking about. So make it.
I'm pouring from a percolator type device in that video. When you see the wax pour, it's only like a 2-second.
Okay.
Okay. Squirrel.
I love you. Let me see. What is the craziest, most outrageous thing you want to achieve? Now, let me tell y'all something. This lady has achieved a lot of things in her life that I know about. So I look forward to hearing what else. That you are a highly talented woman. So shut your face, now talk.
So I think it's probably not that fantastical. I mean, other than, yes, I want to travel like crazy, like a lot of people do. But in these times, it's almost like I want to do it, but there's so much happening. I want to open a storefront. I want to have Artist Life Cafe be the real deal in a big space. And when I say big, I mean just bigger than the size of my living room. But cozy. You know, I want to offer things. I don't want to show too much and like show all my cards and say everything that I want to do in it. But it would be a mix of what I was doing before and what I'm doing now, like intertwined. And it's so imperative to me to open places where people feel safe and where people feel welcomed. Whatever their gender affiliation, whatever their sexual orientation is. I do have one limit of like, I'm not going to sit here and listen to certain politics that don't jive with mine. But understand when I say that if anybody asked me to go march in any particular marches going on right now, I would say yes, that have to do with lots of rainbow colors. So I definitely have a certain kind of political lean. I don't know where we go on this. That's why I was being very light about what I'm saying. But short of things that where I feel like there's a lot of non-open-minded views, I don't welcome that. I do know that I like to offer a safe space for conversation. I have done this before where conflicting views came together in a room with the understanding that this is an event and that we're here to have a discussion. That is the only time. But as far as like an open space for everybody, it should be a place where people won't feel bullied, that they won't feel like they can't be who they are, where they are completely free to be themselves and to express themselves, but also come for healing, you know, and I don't claim to be no healer. I just know that I'm someone that will listen. I'm someone that creates tools that help you with your journey, however you see it for you. They're tools. They're not the answer to everything. My readings aren't your answer for everything. My candles aren't your answer for everything. They're tools, you know?
And as artists, we creatives need other creatives to help us manifest easier and having a safe place to go and just go blah is very necessary as a creative person. So I thank you for that, because I have been to at least 2 or 3 of your events that I can remember. Long time ago, before the pandemic.
Before babies.
Before babies. Gosh, wow, before babies. Oh,
Yeah. 2016 to 2015 to till 2017. Yeah.
You absolutely should have that space. I believe it, and I put it out into the universe for you. Give Jenice her space.
Yes. Please. Please.
It will come. Keep manifesting. Put them wings up in there, or get another set of wings made.
I would get another very significant art piece
That'd be
of some
sweet.
sort in there. Yeah.
And
That's so me though.
what else? What else can we talk about? That's you. How do people reach you besides at artislifemotherhood.com?
So I do have a link tree on my Instagram.
There you go.
So it's the link tree. I forget because it's kind of like that weird spelling,
Yeah, it's like LAN dot.
Yeah.
But it's on your website, right? On that website?
Well, my link tree is not on my website,
Okay.
but it is. So what I'll tell you, the easiest way to see everything that I do is to go to Artist Life Motherhood and then see what I offer on that first page, because I am, like I said, I'm a wellness coach, so I do talk a lot about that and getting people signed up to that end with resources and my coaching support and my community. So I do have a space for that. Most of Artist Life Motherhood is about that, but there is a place to go on the front of it to go to Artist Life Cafe. Those are the main places. And then you can find me on Instagram as well. At Artist Life Mom or Artist Life Cafe.
Follow Miss Jenice on the social medias. She is very, very inspiring and very, very unapologetically herself.
Probably a little too much, but
no, it's needed. No, man. People need to learn how to say no sometimes. Shoot. All right. I'm gonna pull Jenice off and say thank you so much for being here. We did it.
I'm so excited that we did it, y'all. I'm so happy
we did it. Okay. Say bye to Miss Jenice and let me tell the crowd to clap for you.
Love you.
I love you. I love you very much.
So proud of you. Look
Thank
at
you, sister. We're doing the thing. And here comes Miss Jenice. All right, I'm gonna take us out with one of my songs, and Jenice, stick around, and so we can talk for a minute. One of my songs. Where's the thing? Play the thing. Let's do. This is Superhero. I wanted to be a superhero and help someone who was in need. I didn't know my superpower, and in time, well, it came to me. Now I sing and play my guitar, sing and play my guitar. Wanted to be a superhero and help someone who was in need. I didn't know superpowers, and in time, well, it came to me. Ooh, me. Now I sing. Thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. See you next time. Same bat channel, same bat time. Peace, love, and light to you all. And we're going to get out.